Good morning. My name is Leonard Adams. I am reading another excerpt from my book, Things I Wish My Father Had Told Me. And this is based on the small phrase on page 112 that says, "You are not all there is." You are not all there is. What I would like for you to do is to think of someone else. With all your power, imagine you are that person. Everything you see is now viewed from their perspective. You are now able to see yourself, others, and the surrounding area. Now, imagine your life from this point of view. Even if you get it wrong, there's one thing you'll get right. You are not all there is. Our world is conceived of our thoughts, of our perspective, of our point of view. When we look around, what we notice are things outside of us, and we end up being the center of things. Everything else seems to be on the periphery of us. When we live our lives simply from that perspective, we see very microscopically into ourselves and into life itself, into what is. If we can imagine stepping outside of ourselves and into someone else's perspective, it doesn't matter really whether or not we get that right. Chances are we won't get it completely right. But the point is this: you step outside yourself, even for a moment, you realize that everyone has their own perspective, that everyone has their own way of seeing the world, of seeing things, of seeing one another. And whatever they may see of you, as you look from their eyes and think, how do they see me? Or listen to the words they say as to how they see you. They may get it right and they may not. But it is a beginning of the self-examined life. I forget who said the self-examined life, or only the self-examined life is the life worth living, but I think that there's a great point to that. As we've heard it said, we chew the meat and spit out the fat. In other words, whatever someone else thinks of us, part of it may be true, none of it may be true, a little of it may be true, most of it may be true, all of it may be true. Whatever is true, take that, digest it, assimilate it, realize what there is about you that you like, about what they think, what it is maybe you don't like, and what you'd like to change. And then whatever it is that they got wrong, just spit it out. I was asked a question recently: how do I keep people from renting space inside my head who don't have a positive impact on my life? And I answered by saying, remember that no one thinks ill of you. Nobody's first thought of you is ill, is bad, is awful, that is not already thinking ill, bad, awfully of themselves. In fact, no one can live such a negative life regarding anyone as they see from their perspective life being horrible or people being horrible. They can't see that. They can't experience that life in that way without actually experiencing it worse about themselves. And they see themselves as ill, as bad, as horrible. That's a disease that they project out to the world. It's just like the story of the guy with the mustache and the Limburger cheese. So the guy is taking a nap, and the kids thought it would be funny to put a little bit of Limburger cheese on his mustache while he was asleep. And he woke up, sniffed around, he said, man, this couch smells bad. And then he got up and he walked around a little bit and he said, this room smells awful. So he went to another room in the house, sniffed, looked around. Man, this room smells awful. He went outside, sniffed, smelled around. He said, man, the whole world smells awful. The point is, when you have an internal monologue, or when someone has an internal monologue that is bad, that's how they see the world. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. So in the you are not all there is, this is, first of all, saying that there are perspectives outside of you. Secondly, it's saying there are people in the world who think ill of you, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. It is completely having to do with the fact that they have Limburger cheese on their mustache. That's it. That's it. But it's beautiful to see that life can be lived without taking on the negativity of someone else. Maybe helping them, perhaps pitying them, perhaps lending a hand, perhaps being of assistance to them, but not hating them because of how they've expressed themselves towards you. Finally, the last thing I told this person is one of my favorite quotes, one of my absolutely favorite quotes from Eleanor Roosevelt. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And I mean that. No one on this earth can make you feel inferior unless you consent to it. As soon as you agree with them, that's when you start to feel inferior. Just don't agree. Chew the meat, spit out the fat. Don't agree with those after you've examined your life that you feel they got it wrong. And where they got it right, work to become better. And in the meantime, accept and love yourself for who you are, because you can't change by being down on yourself. You can't change by berating yourself and putting yourself down. That doesn't make you a better person. It will not make you a better person. If being hard on yourself worked, it would have worked by now. Have a wonderful day.